Welcome to Nerd Jocks, the competitive laser tag podcast. I am Mischief.
Sergeant Tucker.
Feeder.
We're going to talk about 5 up-and-coming players for the Level 1 site tonight. Joe, what do you want to talk about first?
Let's start with Mason Sailor.
Mason Sailor.
So, during the lock-in, right when I got here a little bit late because unfortunately my sleep schedule is 9 kinds of messed up. He actually had a really immense game on Scout. I think he almost got 10K. I think he got 9.2 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been steadily improving to where he's the kind of player when he plays against people around his level, he'll consistently begin to score, 8, 9K when you put him on positions that should score that high.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a tendency to pop off, and so he's definitely someone I've been keeping tabs on because I'm thoroughly impressed by his improvements.
One of his games during the lock-in, he had a commander game where he scored 11K and was 10-ish special points off his 5th nuke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really rolled that game. I don't know, I just see him go off sometimes. He plays at a really high level when he's in the right mindset.
And it's really annoying to eliminate him.
Yeah.
It is.
Mason Trails.
I would say the only thing that I feel he really needs to improve on right now is just not losing his head, because he's one of those players that really, if he doesn't feel he performed well, it doesn't matter how well he actually performed, he didn't perform well enough.
I agree.
And so if he can get over that, I feel he'll definitely quickly rise to almost an A tier.
I think A tier is in his future.
Another person...
Despite that, his insistence that he's in C tier.
Yeah. He's already in the B tier. Yeah.
He insists he's C, though.
Let's move on to Emily.
Emily is someone who joined us, I think, last season was her first one. So this was her second season. She's getting better. She's kind of slowed down on her improvements, but I can tell that it's still, the improvement is still there. It's one of those things where I think for her, this is a lot more about the fun of it rather than competitiveness for some of us. So her improvements are slowing down just because she's playing more for the enjoyment rather than for the competition, which is perfectly fine. She's still improving, and she's still honestly a great player. I would put her as one of probably our higher C tier players right now with how she plays.
I would agree. She plays a lot like me when it comes to, I play a lot for fun. But I've hit the switch before where I actually go hard. We haven't seen her decide to try. It's a lot of just having fun playing, despite even during our tournament lock-in finals games, all that.
Yeah, I see her at the lock-in, and she does this thing where she walks everywhere, but she's also a really quick pivot, and she's quick on the trigger.
Yeah.
So it's a weird
Bastion 2.0.
A weird mix between some skills being almost B tier and some skills being down in D. If she found the passion for the game, she could definitely become a much more improved player pretty quickly.
On that note, I would say Liz, who the next person we're going to talk about, is almost in the same way, where she's not quite passionate about this, but this is something that she enjoys, coming here, playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And she's definitely begun to show her improvements. She used to very much just walk around, gun down, didn't really hit very many people, would get reset off a lot. And now she's starting to, trade with people. If you tell her where people are, she'll turn around and fire at them. She's getting a lot better about her awareness, her speed, her accuracy, her how much she assists her team. She's definitely improved a lot since she started. So
yeah, she's still learning the flow of the game, but in a game we literally just played, I was an ammo and she was my heavy against a Josiah commander. And a lot of she wouldn't know where he was a lot of the time, but if he got in on me and Seth, who are the resupplies, I'd just be like, he's right here, and she'd turn and shoot.
Tonight she got down 5 people who were trying to get in on her, and I just kept telling her when she was going to come in. She put 3 into John Heavy when she was playing resupply. And for that reason, I know she's developing the skills, and with those skills might come even more passion and more strategy, so I'm excited to see where she goes.
Yeah, same. And honestly, I'm excited to see where all of our players go, regardless of whether we say they have the passion or not, because they're honestly starting to show leaps and bounds in some instances. The next one should be Noah Cross, who he's a bit of a veteran at our site, but he just came back after like
he's
a long,
very
long
he's very
hiatus.
on and off when
Yeah.
it comes to playing laser tag and then Space Marines in particular.
He's definitely one of our A tier players, so long
If
as
he
he
keeps
can
in
stay
his
focused.
if he keeps in his head that he's an A-tier player.
Yes, the second that, just like with Mason Sailor, I feel like the second he begins to doubt his own performance, his performance begins to naturally just tank that way as well. But when he has the encouragement or the belief that he can do it, he's actually even challenged, he's gone commander versus Caleb's commander, and they've gone blow for blow against
I'll
one
just
another.
put it this way. If you only look at the tournament games from the lock-in only, he took second overall MVP.
Yeah.
He definitely has the potential to become like top player at our site, honestly, if he really put in the hours and the practice and everything.
Oh,
Although
easily.
he really just needs to go to tournaments, and speaking to him a couple times, he's got to get that passion to want to go and compete competitively first. And then finally, we have Isaac. Best player
at our site. Yeah, I was about to say. As I've been telling everybody, honestly, as much as I love Isaac, statistics don't mean everything. I'll say he's the best player at our site. I'd put him somewhere in the B to C tier range.
I mean, what I say to him is, no, you're not the best player at our site, but you're always a great draft pick for the spot that you get picked at.
Yeah.
Wherever we think he's going to be, he always performs better than we think.
Yeah. He's honestly, so Isaac is the kind of player that when I look to pick up a player in Isaac, I'm thinking that I'm picking up someone who can very quickly assess situations and adapt to them. He's, after a game, he'll say, what went wrong? How do I change it? How can I help my team change it? And he's constantly coming up with ideas, plans, different ways to do things. That way, if they lost, they don't lose that way again.
True.
Something that I was noticing during, I think, the second season, if I was like making, for example, a professional team, I wouldn't put Isaac as one of the players. I put him as the coach, the person who analyzes and make the plans. Something that annoyed him during that season that I noticed a lot was he knew what to do. He couldn't make his body do it. Like, he knew theoretically what he had to do. He didn't have the skill to do it, and he's getting a lot better at that.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Which is why you've seen his penalties go down from about 15 to 16 a season to about 7 or 8.
Yeah, but that's also just like a couple of the others on the list we talked about. Once he gets penalized in a game, he gets very annoyed for the rest of that game.
Mm-hmm. Which can be hard to overcome.
Yeah.
If I were to say anything about Isaac, it's that he has a gamer mentality. He clearly knows the mechanics of creating video games, playing games. He's always thinking about the stats and the roles whenever I talk to him, and for that reason, I do think he'd make a great coach. And I think that's why he analyzes the game the way he does, like you said.
And not only that, he's thinking, as he plays Magic the Gathering, he's thinking 4, 5, 6 moments ahead of himself to try and, predict, what's going to happen, what can I expect to happen, what do I think might happen, and then as it begins to go, all right, I planned for this, I know what I'm going to do, And especially as it's been fun to watch his actual improvements, because during the season, he played heavy, and I watched him walk in and down the entire enemy team by himself, and just reset chaining them, and they had to literally flee before him. Whereas if I asked him to do that, 3 seasons ago, he might have gotten 1 or 2 of them, but then he would have gotten shoved out and come back. Or he may have gotten all of them and then done the Pollux, where he just sits there and
Dabs
goes,
and leaves.
I got all of them, and then runs away. So he's definitely shown that improvement, and it's actually beginning to show in his play.
I agree. All right, well, we're going to call the podcast there. Thank you guys for listening.
Yep.